All right, y'all, today you're going to learn how to play the guitar, and I'm going to show you, and I don't think it's going to take us all that long. I should have done this a long time ago. I've gotten great response from my tutorial videos, and I thought, why not do one for the folks who are starting from the very beginning? So I'm not going to waste a whole lot of time. I got a chapter list down here, bounce around if you need it. Let's go. All right, first let's talk about the parts. The big piece here is called the body. The long skinny piece is called the neck. All along the neck we have these little wires. Those are called the frets. The frets allow us to press down and essentially change the length of each string, thereby producing a different note. The strings are attached to the body down here at this big piece called the bridge, and they come up over this little white piece called the saddle. Down here at the other end of the neck, they come across this other white piece called the nut. The top piece here is called the headstock, and it contains the tuning posts or tuning pegs that allow us to adjust the tension and tightness of each string. The big hole is called the sound hole, and a lot of guitars have this plastic piece called a pick guard that helps protect the body from years of wear and tear and strumming, lest it become like Willie Nelson's. Speaking of picks, this is your typical guitar pick. It's a little piece of plastic, and most people hold it between their thumb and forefinger like this, but you hold it however is comfortable for you. You can find picks in varying degrees of stiffness and thickness for your own preference. Try a few and you'll find one you like. All right, so strumming and picking are going to feel a little awkward and forced as you get comfortable with these new movements that you're not used to. There's movement in your arm, in your wrist, and also some fine-tuned stuff in your fingers. All of this stuff will come together as you develop your own style and comfort. You can strum down, you can strum up, you can strum all of the strings, some of the strings, create percussive, muted sounds. You can pick one string at a time or use no pick at all. All right, let's talk about your fingers. Now here at the start of your guitar playing journey, you're going to discover that your little baby fingertips are a little delicate and soft and are ill-equipped to handle the stresses that they're about to face. Don't worry. Give it time. They're going to hurt for a couple of weeks until they get used to it. But your fingers are going to get stronger. That's what the body does. They'll develop calluses, and then you'll be off and running. This will begin your official membership in the category of guitar player. All right, without getting too deep, just know that musical notes and chords are represented by the letters A through G. Some of those notes have half steps between them, and we call those notes sharp or flat. If the note is lower, we call it flat. If the note is higher, we call it sharp. And that brings us to tuning. Okay, so your guitar has 6 individual strings, and each one of those strings is tuned to a specific note. And if any one of them is out of tune by just a little bit, nobody's going to enjoy your playing. So tuning is important. There are all kinds of options for tuners out there. Some clip onto the end of the guitar. There are software tuners, apps for your phone. You can use a good old-fashioned tuning fork or reference an instrument that's already in tune like a piano or another guitar. For a beginner, I recommend any tuner that gives you a visual indicator of the note being played. The strings are also often referred to by their string number, starting at the bottom. So the first string is the high E string, the second string is the B string, the third string is the G string, the fourth string is the D string, the fifth string is the A string, and the final and sixth string is the low E string. Now let's get in tune. I always start with the top string and move down through the rest of the strings. So get your tuner ready, turn it on, pluck the string, and make the corresponding adjustment on the tuning post. You might have to do this a few times with each string to get it right. If the note is too low or flat, you'll tighten the string to raise the pitch. And if the note is too high or sharp, you'll loosen the string to lower the pitch. Now, in those cases where the note is too high and you need to loosen the string, it's always a good idea to go down a little farther below the note you're looking for and then tune up to the desired note. That'll help your string stay in tune longer. And we'll repeat this process for the rest of the strings. So let's start with the top string, the low E string. So we can see on the indicator here that the note is too low, it's flat. And so we tighten the string until we move the needle up into the green where it's supposed to be. Once we get a good consistent reading there, we move to the next string. The A string is also flat, so we do the same thing, tighten up until we get a good green reading. Moving to the D string, in this case, the D is too high, so we move down underneath where we want it to be, and then tune up until we get the green reading. The G string is too low, so we tighten it up until we move the needle where it needs to be. Once we get a good consistent reading there, we move to the next string. The B string is too high, so we duck down underneath it again and move up until we get the proper reading on it. And the E string is a little flat. We tuned up a little too high, and so we went above it, and so we duck down underneath it again and come back up until we get the proper reading. Okay, now that we know a little bit about individual notes, let's talk about chords. A chord is a group of individual notes that are played together and create a harmonic sound. And the big chord categories are major chords and minor chords. And the difference is like this. Here's a major chord. It sounds nice and pleasant and happy. And here's a minor chord. Oh, it sounds a little dark and dreary, a little sad. By the way, it's always assumed that a chord is major unless it's specified as minor. In this video, we're just going to learn 3 basic chords, and they're all major chords. A G, a C, and a D. You can do a lot with these chords, so let's get started. So the first thing I want to show you here are these chord diagrams that you'll see in various music notation. They are a graphical representation of the fretboard up here on the neck and will show you where to place your fingers and on what strings. The black dots show you where your fingers should be placed, and in some cases you'll actually see a number in the dot which suggests which finger to be used. You may of course use whatever fingering you're comfortable with as long as you fret the strings in the proper locations. All right, here's our first chord. Let's start with the G chord. The G chord looks like this and sounds like this. Now, getting your fingers in these positions is going to be awkward at first, and it may take you reaching and actually physically putting your fingers in the proper locations and contorting them and then forcing that into place while you build that muscle memory. One of the things that you want to avoid doing is being kind of lazy and coming across the strings like this, and instead you want to rotate your wrist underneath and around so that you can come down onto the strings. This is going to help you avoid touching other strings that would otherwise mess up the sound of the chord. So to start with, we're going to work on these first 2 fingers, and we're going to put the first finger right here on the 2nd fret of the A string so that it creates that note. And practice just holding that string and plucking that note. Now, when you're fretting a string, you don't want to be right on top of the fret or you'll get kind of a muted sound. And you don't want to be too far back because it takes so much effort to press down, and sometimes you get a buzzing sound as well. So you want to get a little closer to that fret. Now, for the 2nd finger, we're going to put that finger right here on the 3rd fret of the top string, that low E string. And that's the note it creates. Now, here's where you got to be careful and be sure that you're coming down, straight down, and not being lazy and holding your fingers over the top. If I'm too lazy with this, I can play the top string fine, but the bottom string is muted because my middle finger's touching that string below it. So to avoid that, again, we rotate the wrist around and make sure we're coming down straight on top of the strings instead of laying across them. So now I've got the top string fretted on the 3rd fret with my middle finger, and I've got the next string fretted on the 2nd fret with my 1st finger. And those 2 notes sound like that. Now, the next 2 strings are played open. And then the bottom 2 strings of this chord, we're fretting right here on the 3rd fret with the ring finger and the pinky right on top of each other. So we got the middle finger, the 1st finger behind it, and then these 2 on the bottom 2 strings. And this is what it should sound like, 1 string at a time. Now, this is where you're going to have some patience. And again, you might have to physically come down here with your other hand and make sure that these fingers are in the proper positions and are not touching other strings. If I get this finger a little too close to the string above it, it'll sound like that, and we don't want that. So we got to be really particular here. And that'll be a little frustrating at first, but as you force your fingers into the proper locations and burn that into your muscle memory, you'll get it. And so you'll practice each of those notes, making sure that they all sound properly, and wherever there's a problem, come over here and correct it until you get it working right. Now, it might be helpful for you to start on this chord with the bottom 2 fingers. Get those in place first, and then place the top 2 fingers. It really doesn't matter. It's totally up to you. Here's where you're going to notice your fingers start hurting. Don't worry about it. Have some patience. Set the guitar down and come back to it when you need to. Give your fingers a little break. They'll get used to it. All right, now that you've gotten familiar with the G chord, we're going to learn our 2nd chord. This is a C. Now, technically, this is what we call a C add 9, but you don't need to worry about that right now. We'll talk more about that in the next video. This is going to be an easy chord for you because it's very similar to the G. All we're going to move are these 2 fingers on top. These bottom 2 fingers are going to stay right where they were in the G chord. So we're going to keep these bottom 2 fingers exactly where they were, and then we're going to take the top 2 fingers and move them each down 1 string. So my 1st finger is going to be here on the 2nd fret on the 4th string, and my middle finger is going to be right above it on the 3rd fret on the 5th string. And for this chord, we're not going to play the top string. And you can see on the chord diagram, that's represented by an X. And one of the things that I do to help make sure that I don't play that string if I accidentally hit it is by touching it just lightly with either my middle finger or wrapping my thumb around and touching it with the thumb, so that if I hit it accidentally with the pick, it's not really going to make a sound that's going to interfere with the chord. Now we're going to do the same thing with this chord as we did with the G chord, going through each note and making sure each string sounds properly. And where we have a problem, we're going to correct it and make sure each note sounds proper and burn this into our fingers' muscle memory. Now, once you've gotten comfortable with the G and the C chord and you're ready for it, let's move to the third chord we're going to learn today, which is the D chord. Now, the D is a little bit easier because we're only focusing on the bottom 4 strings. The top 2 strings aren't played at all. And we're going to start with this open D string, the 4th string. And our first finger is going to go on the string below it on the 2nd fret. And then we're going to take our middle finger and put it on the bottom string on the 2nd fret. And you're going to take your ring finger and place it on the 3rd fret on the 2nd string here, this B string. And this is what it should sound like. Now, you got all these fingers bunched up here together, and you're probably going to have some issues where something's going to be touching. Again, you just take your fingers, make them be in the right place. Make sure you're coming down on top of the strings and not touching things that aren't supposed to be touched. And make sure each of those strings sound together. And there's your D chord. Just keep practicing these notes, making sure they sound properly, correcting any mistakes, and burn this chord into your muscle memory. You can see the pressure this puts on your fingertips. Don't let it keep you down. Take a break if you need to, and come back to it. Your fingers are going to get stronger. So now that you've gotten familiar with these starting 3 chords, just practice moving between them with more ease and fluidity. As slow as you want to, you can strum, move between those chords, change it up however you want to. You can also use your pick to just pick individual strings. Go as slow as you need to. But the more you do this, you're going to burn these chords into your muscle memory, and you're going to be able to do it without looking and get more and more comfortable. And here's the exciting part, because now that you know how to learn a chord, how to teach yourself these fingering positions, you can learn any new chord that you want to. And the options are endless. There's so many chords out there, and they'll add so much to your playing. Keep your strumming simple at first, and then as you get more comfortable moving between chords, you can add more dynamics and technique. You might start with just strumming down. And then as you get more comfortable, add that up stroke. And from here, you can learn as many new chords as you want to. The possibilities are virtually endless. Y'all, that's about as short and simple as I can do it. Man, this has been a lot of fun, and I'm going to get to work right away on a follow-up video with some additional chords and some cool, easy techniques that's really going to expand your playing. So good luck, rock on, keep going, don't give up. Peace.
Yes, he is. Well, he used to go out drinking, looking for a fight. Now he's got to see that sweet woman every night. Big Bad Bill is sweet, where you now? Doing the dishes. The Big Bad Bill is sweet, where you now? Mopping up that floor. The Big Bad Bill is sweet, where you now?